Introducing our players over here in the upper left, the OSL champion. He is
Grandmaster, SK Telecom T1 Ray.
And over here in the bottom right, we have our Terran player, old school from Wings of Liberty. He is
Master, Azubu Supernova.
That was a sexy shot we got there. This is why GOM TV is the best, man.
It's exactly that and nothing else.
Shots like that. Shots like that and you are toast. That's it, man. So we're going to have to wait and see how they open. This should be, for these two players in this matchup on this map, it should be a situation with a good amount of passivity here.
Yeah.
Early on.
We'll see what Supernova's up to. Because, you know, we do see sometimes people open up with a Reaper, and then maybe later on they could go into a Mind Drop or something. And, you know, Supernova definitely like a player that did like Hellbats. Doubt he'll use him here, though.
So, Artosis, we're going to have a little bit of downtime here before this game picks up. So, let me tell you about my little vacation. I went to visit my dad.
Yeah, how was that?
To Jakarta.
The poor guy that got sick somehow.
I got sick. I think I ate some bad food. And actually, this is a pause here, which makes it even more convenient for me to talk about this.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, and we'll let you guys know when we know, if we know, what the issue is. But, yeah, I was in Jakarta in Indonesia last week, so that was really fun.
Yeah, what'd you do?
I just hung out with my dad. I mean, we just had beers and hung out.
Just broed it up.
We broed it up. I broed it up with Dad. But no, it was fascinating. You know, it's interesting. The traffic in Jakarta is so bad.
Is it?
It was incredible.
Is it worse than Seoul?
Oh, no, it's 1,000 times worse.
Oh, really?
Like, for instance, to get from here to, like, Gangnam Station, which you guys know is, like, I think 2 or 3 subway stops away, would have been, like, 35 minutes.
Okay. Wow.
35, 40. I mean, just
that's terrible.
Incredible.
Why would you even take a car anywhere?
I didn't. I was in a taxi, and then I actually just got out and started asking for directions on how to get to a shopping mall and got there.
I think that's a better choice. So what did you get me? You haven't given me my present yet.
I'm sorry, I didn't get you a present, Artosis. I did get a cool Batman T-shirt. That was what I got at the mall.
You didn't even get me a second Batman T-shirt to match with you?
I didn't get you a Robin Hood T-shirt to wear along with my Batman T-shirt. But all right, looks like this game's going to get started up. By the way, a quick side note, since we're still not in this game and the wheels aren't quite spinning yet for us to talk about what they're going to do. You know A&W, like A&W Root Beer, they had the sandwich chain. Did you know about this?
Yeah.
That's huge in Indonesia.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I had no idea. I did not. I was.
Wait, isn't that like a hot dog place? More of a hot dog place than a sandwich place?
I don't know. I'm sure they have hot dogs, but I mean, I'm sure it's more of a root beer front with hot dogs and hamburgers that you can get. Okay, we've gotten confirmation to go in this game.
It's always interesting, actually, if I may interrupt there, to go to other countries and see what is big there or what is different. Like in Australia, when we went there, Burger King was called Hungry Jack's because the name Burger King was already trademarked there for another burger joint.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
That was really interesting.
You know what amazed me when we were in Australia is that everybody rode kangaroos. I thought that was a stereotype, but it's
completely true.
Completely true.
Yeah.
It's completely true, and people should stop joking about it.
And they think they're good at boxing, but Tasteless has longer arms. Knocked 3 of them out in a row before
I actually killed that kangaroo from Tekken. I went all the way to Australia and I kicked his ass.
Yeah.
I don't know why this game hasn't started yet.
Oh, they're about to do the countdown. So.
Okay, all right. No, but that is actually an interesting fact about whenever you go anywhere else and you see occasionally even things that from your own country that they're somewhat big, but then they're huge.
Like KFC is everywhere over here.
Yeah.
I've
heard actually. Tell me if I'm wrong about this, but I've heard actually in Japan it's very popular to get KFC on Christmas.
I did not know that.
I've heard that from several people that have been to Japan, but
I don't know about
Please feel free to fact check me for it. Let me know on Twitter if I'm wrong. It's on Call Me Tasteless. You can tweet at me if I'm wrong about this.
Where I'm from, New Year's Eve is all about Chinese food. Not even joking.
In New Hampshire?
Yeah, every single Chinese restaurant in my entire town has like hours and hours of waits on New Year's Eve.
Really?
Everyone gets Chinese food. It's
really?
Really weird, yeah. That's not like an American thing. That's just, I guess. if you didn't do that.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not being
Every year.
trolled.
Every single year.
Like, I'm going to be like, really? Like, no tases, you idiot. Why would that happen anywhere in the world? And I'm like, oh.
No. It's a true story.
So, the Cybernetic score is being made here. This is a very Rain, just Rain-esque opener. It's very safe. Yeah. If you're going to steal a build, you should be taking Rains, even down to the cancellation of the Zealot.
Yeah, that's a really important part to get that Nexus up. And notice how he has it timed out so that as his probe approaches there, he sees if there's an eBay, he sees if there's an SCV near enough by, and lines it up perfect like that. Whereas we have 2 Reapers on the way for Supernova. So it looks like he's going to start off with a little bit of aggression. Or harassment, at least.
Yeah. Now we have these double Reapers about to pop out. Mothership core well positioned here. There's not a lot of areas that the Reapers can hop up into your base. Mm-hmm. So what this really involves right now is Rain maintaining this defensive posture while Supernova attempts to, at the bare minimum, scout what's going on. Although, to be completely frank, right now, even if he was to scout, there's not a lot he would find.
No. And in fact, he's just kind of scouting the whole map. I think, you know what, I really like the way that Supernova is approaching this, because if you told me to write down a builder and how to execute it on paper to kill Supernova, or to kill Rain, this wouldn't be it. But Rain, of course, has to be cognizant of that, and therefore might have done something like a proxy Stargate, and if he had, Supernova finds it instantly.
Yeah. That's Supernova being one step ahead. It turns out it wasn't necessary in this case, but...
Yeah. And in fact, Rain does exactly what he always does. In fact, getting the Forge reasonably quickly as well in lieu of the gates, and that makes sense because he saw the Reaper. He knows there's no big Marine tacker coming or anything like that.
So, again, now both players have to back off from each other for a little bit here. And this is not really too surprising from these guys so far. You know, very conservative play. Their strengths are really, like I said, past the 10-12 minute marker when they can actually start to engage each other. Now we have the Reapers and the Marines coming out here. They may try to come up here to the front and see if they can't kill something like a sentry, although we don't see one here now. Yeah,
worst case scenario, they should at least be able to bait a Nexus cannon, which will help him out later on with less power on that Nexus. And there you go. It gets baited, and you lose a few units, but pretty much worth it to get rid of that 100 energy.
Yeah, it's really important that you are milking the mothership core for all the energy it has, because if that thing's at full energy when you're going to engage it at any point in time, you're just going to be at a deficit. Looks like he's actually going to lose that Stalker there.
Just slightly sloppy. Also, Rain throws up a cannon in his main mineral line, and that actually comes up before even any other gates, and then bam, there we go, a second cannon. That one's going to be in the natural, and he's... Look, this is how defensive he is. He doesn't even get more gateways. He'd rather get the cannons out to make 100% sure that his economy is fine and he can buy what he needs to live.
Yeah. And I like that. I really I can appreciate defensive play like this. Now the second attack is coming up here. Now note how this is timed out, so there is no Nexus cannon that can be used. Now there is a cannon that is warping in now, but he does not have to engage that cannon. In fact, looks like he's going to elect to not do that at all.
Yeah, and you know what? 9 probes killed.
Oh!
6 more. Really, really great play there by Supernova.
He might even end up doing some more damage over here. These Stalkers might not be able to catch up. Now there is a final cannon up here. It looks like he's going to get at least one more kill. You know, that'll be the end of that. But 16 workers killed. That's pretty impressive.
That was really great. And, you know, that's the funny thing, that most different aggressions that Terran does early on, those cannons, the mineral lines, are going to be worth more. But the exact type of aggression that Supernova chose, you'd rather have the 2 additional gates so that you can warp in some more units and stop the Hellions from doing all that. But really good choices here by Supernova.
So, for the time being, Supernova's got a little bit of a lead here. Now, one thing to note, Rain played very defensively. So defensively, he opted for static defense, these cannons up here. Now, that's great if you're getting dropped, but what that also means is he's not really allowed to move outside of his base and do a lot of damage because those cannons can't move.
No, you know, this is something that he does take the worst end of.
Yeah.
economy builds.
He will always take a deficit early on as long as he's safe, because once he gets all his pieces, all the parts of the puzzle.
And the thing is, he should be safe, but Supernova chose the right type of aggression. It's not like Rain has never done a build like this before. So I think it was just really smart by Supernova the way he chose to do this. And now Rain is behind, but after losing 16 probes like that, after you get defensive cannons, that's unacceptable.
It really is. And, you know, the truth is, Supernova could do the same attack again. And, you know, do even more damage. We'll see. It looks like he wants to do a two-pronged attack. Or is he?
Maybe a double drop?
Okay, just a big drop here. I was going to say, I think a double-pronged attack doesn't make any sense since there's just cannons.
Well, you know, a double drop here. There is the possibility with enough Marauders in there, and he does have 3. He might be able to get the Colossus. I don't think he's going to get it this time, but
actually, okay. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. This army is a little bit spread out.
Also notice that Rain only gets 1 forge this game. That just goes to show how careful he's being. A lot of Protosses will go ahead and just grab 2 forges.
Yeah.
But he likes to have a little bit more gas to be able to get the other units and upgrades that he needs for that added defense. So.
Yeah, if you go double forge early on. Oh, hold that thought. We got a nice force field coming up here, but he doesn't pick up.
That was actually really well done. It's good force fields, very worthwhile.
Yeah, shaved off a little bit of that Terran army. Now, we'll see. Supernova is generally pretty good about this, but when you're outside their base, you do want to scan over your army, because there is, at this level of play, basically always, no matter what, an observer over your army.
Yeah. And you know what? Also, Tasis, Supernova is playing this just brilliantly. He's putting a bunker up into his 3rd immediately, because when Rain plays like this,
he'll do the zealot harass.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll warp in those zealots and send them right down, yeah.
Well, we do have charge still coming. Ooh, another nice set of force fields there.
That was actually a money force field right there.
Ooh, kind of a mess up here by Supernova.
And this is one of the things about harasses like this, is that it is a little bit of a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
If you don't do the damage and you lose that little squadron of units, you are behind.
You know, I've liked a lot of the things Supernova's done this game, but I think he's actually pushing a little bit too hard in these harassments. I think he should be showing them and running away instantly. And just like trying to fake Rain out, trying to be like, hey, yeah, I'm coming, keep defending like this, and trying to push his own macro and economy lead forward.
Yeah. Well, we have now the 3rd base for Rain on the way. It's about halfway done. Supernova is still in the slight lead here with his 3rd base up and running, and even about a 10 supply lead here.
Well, everything looks to be slowing down and kind of normalizing, which is exactly what Rain wants here.
One thing to notice that Supernova needs to be careful about how many Vikings he's going to make, because we only see 2 Colossi right now.
Yeah.
And there's a Warp Prism making, so in other words, he's not making Colossi right now. Nice scan there, gets rid of that Observer. That's critical. Probably one of the most critical small things you can do in this matchup.
And you know what, Tasteless? I want to go back to what you were saying about just the 2 Colossus. Because he got 2 Colossus without Thermal Lance, and that's something you never see. Normally you see 1 Colossus without Thermal Lance to try to trick them into Vikings, but Terrans are smart against that now. I think this is kind of a meta play by him, where he's actually gotten 2 Colossus to be like, no, really, I'm going Colossus, but bam, there you go, a Storm. Beautiful Storms all over Supernova's army.
Yeah, really bruising all of those units there. As another scan over here to figure out what's up ahead. Let's see if he gets a snipe off on the Templar, and he will.
Well,
or will he? All right, he will.
No, he'll get it.
Don't make me look bad, man. He definitely could have got that. So the Warp Prism's now coming in here. And this is going to go right into that turret. But he is not going to turn around. He needs to unload and then get that into warp mode here, and he'll do just that. And the Terran structure is actually getting in the way of these Marines actually being able to gun that down. The few Zealots do get out just in time.
And he's trying to get that tech lab that's upgrading. In fact, he will not get it, but at least he knows that it's upgrading. The fact that he targeted it shows us that he realizes that Hellbats are going to be a big part of this game going forward. And he starts another Colossus immediately after seeing that beautiful, beautiful move.
Looks like the 4th base may be interrupted here with these Zealots attacking. Let's see if he gets that SCV. If he does, that's just incredibly helpful there for the Terran. But it looks like Supernova's got a nice enough defense. You know, Protoss Harass is not, I don't want to say quick or nimble. You know what I mean? It's not even the Warp Prism. It's not like, surprise, too late. But it is something that takes a lot to clean up.
Yeah.
Unlike even a Terran drop where you can actually just zap that with a feedback.
Indeed. Well, right now we do have both players just grabbing all manner of upgrades. Rain now finally on that double forge. He's a little tiny bit behind on upgrades, but he's actually going to catch up and then, well, I guess that's about as much as you can do when you're both hitting 3-3. He is making more and more Colossus, getting that Thermal Lance, expanding his gateway count, whereas Supernova, you know, he is getting a lot of fire or Hellbats out, and that's going to help, but I feel like attacking right now, I don't know that this is going to do anything.
Yeah, I got to agree with you, Artosis. Now, these are going to be a lot of really nice storms here, and that's going to force that Terranum to back off. We're getting to the boiling point here, as both players are almost maxed 181 to 185. Nice denial there.
Wow, that was really nice.
That was really good, actually.
Forcing the cancel on that fourth base. That's really going to slow down Supernova's long game. And look at this. Storms absolutely everywhere, playing kind of like Parting used to.
All right, a scan here on this army. Notice Supernova always has that instinct to kind of know where the army is. This reminds me of Flash at StarCraft 1 a little bit. Always scanning where the Protoss army was. All right, nice EMPs here. Now the Vikings are coming in now. Notice Supernova did start up his Colossi production again, so he's actually shaving off a lot of Supernova's army.
Yeah, he is just going to town on it. Not a ton of anti-air here to actually deal with those Vikings, but he did hit him with some storms. Looks like they will go down before killing all of them.
Supernova cleaned up here.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Supernova's fourth base was denied. It was being made at the third, so he could lift it off and move it, but he completely shut that down. And Rain now is taking his fourth with ease.
Yeah, this is, you have to give Rain the pretty big lead here. And in fact, he's going to start adding on a bunch of Archons. He just needs hit points in his army right now. It's very Colossus-based, and I'm loving this from Rain, man. He's in a great spot. Even going to have his fourth base up before Supernova.
Yeah, it's definitely a good position here for Rain right now. I'm really asking myself now, what exactly could Supernova do? Because with that big army loss, I feel like the only way he can win is with a nice engagement. Let's see if that occurs up here. Supernova is one of these guys that controls his army so well.
Well, maybe he can get something to happen here. It's going to rely on a lot of good EMPs. How many Vikings does he really have? 4? He has 2 more on the way. And that's against 3 Colossus with really strong upgrades. So this is going to be really hard to break, especially when you're 20 supply down.
All right, and oh my God, we only just caught that at this moment the SCVs have been pulled, which means this game should not go on for much longer here. Supernova is saying he has to do the damage and do it now. Rain realizing the situation is on the run to enter into as defensive a position as he possibly can.
That's right, the SCV is actually stuck behind for the time being. All the front row is Marines and Marauders. He does start to pull some of it back. The SCVs filter forward, but is it actually going to be enough?
Looks like, well, I mean, it's not enough now, but I think it might be by the time he gets back to this base. We'll see. The Zealots now coming up here in the front. He's trying to snipe these Colossi over here in the back. This just might actually be enough.
Wow, you were talking about it before, Tasteless, about pulling those SCVs. Supernova realized without any fourth base, with Rain taking his fourth, his window of opportunity to win this game was going away. But look at this counter harass.
Yeah, nice harass over there now, knocking the Terran player onto 2 base. And as you can see here, the natural almost completely dried up at the fourth base rather, for Rain, and now being taken out. He's continuing to push forward over here. But with these Archons and these Zealots and the Nexus Cannon, it might be enough.
Yeah, the Nexus Cannon definitely makes it a little bit harder to attack in. The Zealot's going for that counterattack still, but he's all in. He doesn't care at this point, just pushing forward. There are some Archons here. Can he actually bust through this entire third?
He's not stopping right now. He's melting down these Archons. It is just a Nexus Cannon. Can he make this pendulum now swing in the opposite direction, putting both players on 2 base? It looks like the main command center, by the way, has been picked up and now dropped over here in this location that we have a shot of here now.
I cannot believe that Supernova actually might pull this off. Rain's army
This game blew up very quickly in what was a pretty standard PBT. is suddenly down to the wire.
Ooh, nice EMP there. Now, the thing is, there's not a lot of energy left on these medevacs, so still this army can be beaten. He does lift off those Vikings to try to take out the Colossi, but there is an Archon on the way.
He's kiting with his ground forces while the Vikings deal with the Colossus.
Oh my God.
Is he going to win this?
Is he actually somehow going to win this?
But now Rain's over here at this base. Nobody has any money.
If Supernova wins this is like the most, oh my God, GG. The most narrow victory I think I have ever seen.
I actually almost had to ask you who just won that because it ended